Art is a truly global language that can change our perceptions about the world we live in. In our lineup today, dancing with disability in China. The circus comes to town in Brazil.
Don't emulate, don't fabricate, just do your thing.
And a new beat from the street in Tanzania.
Hello and welcome to Artsworld. I'm Mona Ibellini. I'm here in the West Bank town of Jenin to visit a man who is an icon of the Palestinian Intifada. Zakaria Zubeidi once led the militant gunmen of the Aqsa Martyrs brigades and has been on Israel's most wanted list for years. He now believes that theatre is an important way to fight for Palestinian statehood. So he's given up his guns and helps run a theatre school. I've come here to find out more.
Zakaria Zubeidi is a 35-year-old Palestinian who grew up in the Jenin refugee camp.
One of my first poignant memories in life was waking up in a hospital with a bullet wound when I was 13 and a half. At 14, I was imprisoned. With its invasions, tanks, and explosives, the occupation destroyed our childhood. Now, the Freedom Theater is giving that childhood back by allowing youth to develop a different narrative. The Freedom Theater is an umbrella for everyone. I'm the head of the Aqsa Martyrs Brigade, but when I walk in that gate, I become Zakaria Zubeidi, a member of the Freedom Theater. Our old theater was built by my parents and Arna MER-KHAMIS. Arna gave us art lessons in the street until my father invited her to come in and use the roof of our house. That's how Jenin's first children's theater was founded.
Arna MER-KHAMIS was an Israeli woman who taught Zakaria and his friends acting skills. But as the war dragged on, the teenagers became soldiers and the theater was forgotten. After years of fighting, many of Zakariya's childhood friends are dead, and he wants this generation of kids to have better prospects.
Instead of playing on the streets like I used to, the kids of the Jenin camp now have a place to go.
I'm performing for those who had their houses bulldozed, kids whose mothers and fathers have been killed. Through the theater, I give them moments of laughter and joy. That makes me very happy.
After the Battle of Jenin in 2002, Zakaria took over from his parents as the host of the theater. And Juliano, Arna's son, took over where his mother left off.
I'm very happy that Zakaria went in this way and decided to put down the weapons and join the Freedom Theater.
Because he is still considered a militant by many, Zakaria is not formally involved in the theater.
He supports us from that up of the mountain, protecting us, giving us the legitimacy to be here. There are Jews, there are Muslims here, Christians, Americans, sometimes Israelis. In Jenin refugee camp, the most attacked camp in Palestine, this is a phenomenon which is being led by Zakaria Zubeidi. Arts cannot free you from your chains. Art can generate and mobilize discourse of freedom. Art can create debates. Art can expose.
The Freedom Theater is a social oasis. Here, boys and girls can gather in an otherwise gender-segregated community to act and play together.
In my sketch, I'm trying to get the message across that no matter what the Palestinian girl does, she will be monitored. I love being in the theater because it gives me a stage to express my thoughts and feelings.
Movement therapist Petra Barghouti says that while acting is socially taboo in much of Palestinian society, talking about psychological troubles is even more frowned upon.
In general, in the culture, if you have any kind of psychological problems, you hide it because it's shame. But now they ask for help, and this is wonderful. This is the first step towards healthy environment or healthy community.
Our next report comes from China, where over 80 million people have a disability. That's more than 6% of the total population. The Disabled People's Performing Art Troupe was established in 1987. Starting off as an amateur dance troupe, it has gone on to claim commercial success both at home and abroad.
Off stage, silent synchronicity. On stage, disability leads to discovery.
I feel that dance is something I can see. It's a language that lets me express my inner world. I have lost my hearing, but I have a very healthy body. I can use my body to express every word I want to say from deep within my heart through dance.
LIHUA is the lead dancer of the China Disabled People's Performing Arts Troupe, as well as its artistic director.
The troupe's a very good platform for disabled people who have a passion for a career in special performance. Here, they have an equal opportunity to participate in any art form that they're interested in and to experience the beauty of their disability using a special form of art to express human love.
The group has moved audiences in more than 50 countries. It includes some 100 performers, the youngest of whom is 10-year-old VIMEI. Like the majority of the ensemble, she is hearing impaired, but makes up for her disability with a deep dedication to dancing.
Since she came here, she is always in a state of euphoria. She has experienced things she never saw back home, so she is always in a state of excitement.
The troupe was born more than 20 years ago, with a mission to provide young disabled Chinese a vehicle to develop new talents. But in 2002, it abandoned its amateur status and turned professional. While the group's members admit a history of discrimination continues to haunt many of China's 80 million people with disabilities, they say their tightly knit community has given them a renewed sense of pride and purpose.
The people in our troupe come from all over China, but we are like a big family. We help each other. When I go for my meals, the deaf-mute children will help me get my food. When we go out, we have blind people who cannot see at all. I can see, so I help them. They will put their hands over my shoulder and I will take them out to buy things to eat and so on.
YANGGUANG lost both of his arms to electric shock when he was 5 years old.
After I lost both arms, I trained myself to use both feet to do things, such as brushing my teeth, washing my face, writing and drawing. When I joined the China Disabled People's Performing Art Troupe, dancing was a big challenge for me. I had never danced before and had never been in contact with music. It was difficult for me to learn the steps in dancing and to cope with the tempo of the music.
The latest challenge facing the troupe has nothing to do with learning to dance, but on figuring out what to do with its first ever guide dog, Yo-Yo. Flutist Mao Di had his first lesson with Yo-Yo on the streets of Beijing.
When we were performing overseas, we came across guide dogs, and we were very envious. When we found out that China has guide dogs, we were excited. But having a guide dog in China is still something very new. It might not be readily accepted by the people on the outside. The assessment today is to find out if we are qualified to lead a guide dog. This includes family environment, living conditions, how we move around. As to which one of us will own this dog, we still don't know. It's fate. The owner wants to pick the dog, but the dog also gets to pick its owner.
With the release of a film about the disabled troupe, along with high-profile performances during the Beijing Olympics, worldwide interest in the group seems poised to surge. But members say despite their growing fame, they do not consider themselves superstars.
They're not angels. They're just like ordinary kids, the same as any other kids. They like to play, they like to bicker amongst themselves, but they all live together like one big family. That's because they have a very positive heart to face whatever's coming along.
We'll take a short break for now, but when we return, we meet a man in Brazil who's giving children the chance to make it big in the circus. And we catch up with a beat from the street in Tanzania. Join us again after the break.